So we are at the end of what has been, I think, a phenomenal 3-day workshop here. First and foremost, I must begin by saying thank you to a lot of people for an enormous, enormous amount of work that has gone into developing this workshop over months and months and months to be able to develop the content and the flow in a manner that we felt would, most impactfully address what we sought to achieve with this workshop. Allow me to begin by thanking the Center for Research on Complex Generics, the CRCG. I specifically want to thank Professor Jim Pauly and Professor Anna Schwendeman, who are the co-directors of the CRCG, as well as Visha Krishnan, and in particular, Dana Hamill and Paige Zambrana, who have been at the controls behind the scenes for the last 3 days and who produced this workshop in just fabulous way, as well as Professor Audra Stinchcombe, who's on the faculty of the CRCG and who played a huge role in organizing and producing this workshop, as well as in her years of research in this area that helped make today possible. So thank you very much to the teams at the University of Maryland and the University of Michigan behind the Center for Research on Complex Generics. One of the greatest challenges to the development of complex generics, and this is certainly true for topical products, and this is as reported to us by you through the interviews that we've conducted, through the surveys that the CRCG has conducted. We've heard that one of the greatest challenges for you in industry is uncertainty about how to implement the scientific insights from the GDUFA-funded research in a manner consistent with regulatory expectations. This, may be related to the development of suitable test procedures, to study designs, even other things that we didn't end up incorporating into the workshop, like model integrated evidence, PBPK modeling that has been developed in this space for topical products, and other issues that are impacting ANDA submissions that I think we were able to talk about very well in today's sessions. Now, the CRCG actually plays a vital role in supporting FDA's efforts to enhance the pre-competitive research collaborations within the generic industry and workshops. This being the first of those, what will be now a series of workshops from the CRCG, are one way that the FDA and the CRCG are working to advance a variety of programs that stimulate scientific dialogue, that disseminate current insights about complex generics, as we did today and as we've done for the last few days, and to generate new knowledge in support of certainly FDA's mission of increasing access to safe and effective generic medicines. So I'm very pleased about the way the workshop has served those goals. I also want to thank the entire programming committee for this workshop, including a lot of people, Calliope Sarago, Priyanka Ghosh, Hiran Patel, Tanaz Ramazanli, Markham Luke, Dennis Bashaw, Sam Haydar, Tapash Ghosh, Yang, Eleanor Rantu, Yan Wang, Autumn Cook, Angela Stark, Kendall Powell, Kevin Warner, Leandro Santos, Kailas Thakur, John Len, Paul Lehman, Narasimha Murthy, Bo Mishniak, Ajay Banga, Vinod Shah, Howard Maybach, Pina D'Angelo, Chuck Bond, Ashwin Patel, Andrew Wilt, Luke Lee, and so many others. I hope you'll forgive me. I don't want this to sound like just a series of thank yous, but I must really thank the faculty. Fortunately, you do know who all the faculty were from the program, so I won't go through them name by name. But I'll say just in closing here that the purpose of this workshop was to discuss the scientific principles as well as the practical considerations that inform certainly current FDA thinking and current FDA and USP recommendations for both IVRT and IVPT studies. But we wanted to explore with you the challenging issues that really benefited from the broader discussions that we had. These were, a novel format I've certainly never seen in any workshop before, of a 2-hour-long panel discussion. These talk show style panel discussions that we had that were very carefully curated so that we could systematically address what we had learned from you were the top challenges, the biggest issues, all the topics that we felt were absolutely essential that we must touch on throughout the workshop, as well as to identify areas that would benefit from further research and ongoing action, which I think we've done. So there's a lot of after action work for us, for all of us from this workshop. And we also wanted to discuss opportunities for coordination and collaboration between FDA, USP, academic institutions, product manufacturers, diffusion cell equipment manufacturers, contract research organizations, consultants, and a lot of other stakeholders. I've been exceptionally pleased by the attendance and the engagement among all these stakeholders. And I think this has been a huge success, and I thank you for that. Ultimately, you'll be the judge of the success, but either way, this is not the end. Our work continues. I will say just a decade ago, less than a decade ago, the development and the approval of generic topical products inherently involved a clinical study. Might be a vasoconstrictor study, might be a multi-million-dollar comparative clinical endpoint study. But in less than a decade, we together have been able successfully to establish approaches to develop and validate in vitro methods and study designs that are suitable to support a demonstration of bioequivalence. In less than a decade, we've successfully moved from what wasn't possible to what is not only possible, but is reality in terms of in vitro bioequivalence. So I also echo Dr. Pashaw's sentiments that, and those of others, about similar senses of the readiness of IVRT and IVPT to support regulatory decision-making in related fields, perhaps like sunscreens. But I also want to say, so then, if we've achieved so much, why was this workshop necessary? Well, it's because of the great disparity in scientific expertise and technical knowledge across the industry. I really hope that the streaming videos from the presentations and the discussions throughout this workshop, which will be available on the CRCG's YouTube website in a few weeks, I really hope that these will continue to serve as a reference for our entire field and to help normalize that disparity. And most of all, I really want to say thank you so much for your interest and all your hard work that goes into developing generic versions of topical products. These are greatly needed, and I'm very grateful for your engagement. So thank you so much.